Welcome to Python programming for beginners, value-added courses. We'll be discussing today the module 7, string and characters. I myself, Kaneez Fatima, Assistant Professor, Department of Artificial Intelligence and Data Science in Chaitanya Bharathi of Institute and Technology. As till now, we have discussed in Python programming language related to the Python Python as an important object-oriented programming language and integrated language. We have discussed the data types and operators, control structures of the Python. Further, we are moving towards a string, which is an important data type of Python. The contents that will be discussed today for the session is the functions and methods, Python string length, string slices and joining, string formatting, Python string operations, methods and string manipulations, Python escape, advantages, disadvantages of string. As we discussed till now, Python is an integrated object-oriented development language used in computer programming. Python is built in string class called name str. String is defined as a sequence of characters. Each character has a unique numeric value as per the Unicode standard. Sequence as a whole does not have any numeric value even if all the characters are digits. As long as the same sequence of characters is enclosed, we matter it as a string. String and letters are being identified here with single quote, double quote, or triple quote. It is clear that internal Python stores strings as included in single quotes. Python Python strings are also called as, or also strings are immutable. Immutable means they are which cannot be changed once they are created. Once you assign the value, in the further actions, the value won't be changed. So in this sense, we say Python strings are immutable. Mutable means once assigning the value also in future further aspect, if you are changing the value gets changes. Whereas in strings, it is immutable, which once you assign it, it won't be changed once they are created. Like you are creating a string as hello. So hello will be taken as hello words will be starting as in an array as 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. String of 0 will be H, string of 1 will be E, string of 2 will be L, string of 4 will be O. So in such a way, we are assigning a value of a string. As string is a literal, can be assigned to a variable as shown below. There are two programs here represented. Normal programming, as we see that just we want to print hello, we use print keyword, print of hello, we get an output as hello. Now another part wherein I'm assigning a string literal to a variable. So here how it happens is that we are assigning a, which is a variable, which is assigned a string hello, where we are using a single quote, double quote here, and print of a. So a is assigned a value hello, and we are using print a. So we get an output as hello. Access string characters in Python. So once we have learned till now what is a string, how to access how a string is being implemented. That is, string is being implemented by assigning a value, or directly we can use a print method. Now we are moving towards the next part to access a string. How the string can be accessed in Python. There are three different various ways where we can use to access string. First one is indexing. Second one is negative indexing. Third one is slicing. Index, we can access a string using indexing. In an indexing, we see that like other languages, the indexing of the Python string starts from 0. For example, the string hello is indexed by single letter, where we are giving a normal hello world letter here. Consider string hello wherein str is initialized to hello and we use as print of string of 0. In such a way, normal we gives the output where these are the four examples given here to print a hello world. Like I use a single quote, double quote, triple quote, and strings in triple double quotes. This another method for accessing a string is negative indexing. Negative indexing is used in Python to begin slicing from the end of the string to the last. Slicing gets a substring from a string. The slicing range is as parameters, that is start, stop, and step. That is how much slicing you want to do. Slicing is like cutting the edges from one part to the other part. So you have a string, I suppose that you're having a string of hello world. You will be given an instruction to do slice. So here what you do is that you give the from where you want to start until where you want to stop. That is from where you want to cut until where you want to cut, and how many steps you want to move ahead to cut that particular word. So as normal slicing we perform in any particular way. So here also we use the slicing. So we have a syntax for the slicing. Like we use slicing from the index from start to the top, and we use from the as we use upper range given the slice operator is also always exclusive. That is, if str is hello is given as string of 1:3. 1:3 will always include the string 1 e and the string 2 L and nothing else. So in such a way, we normally go on dividing the string. Suppose we have a string as string point. So we start O index to end, print str of O colon nothing. That means starting from one index to the number of index. Suppose I'm giving as print str 1 colon 5, means starting from the first index to the fourth index. Suppose I'm giving a print of string first index nothing as colon 3, then I start from the 0th value to the third value. So in such a way we go normally by skipping method or slicing the Python strings, so that whatever the words we want to access from particular Python string, from access from a string, we can access by slicing. So previously we have seen indexing. Normally indexing performs wherein I use the variable indexing method to access the characters by from going as an array method from 0 to n numbers. Whereas another method for accessing characters is slicing, where which may be the syntax first. We give a slicing method, that is from where I want to cut, from where I want to start, where I want to stop, and how many steps I want to perform. So this is a simple another method of accessing a character, that is negative indexing. So we'll have an example here: slice a string with negative indexing. See a string. I have that is here we can see an hash, a comment line statement. What I have used here: create a string. My string is a variable which is created by me, and I'm assigning a variable, assigning a string. This is it. So to display the string, what I'm using print str print string which is equivalent to something which I am giving a variable name. Once that particular string is being displayed, normal string will be displayed. Now I am going for another method, that is slicing the string. Slicing is like how I go with the negative indexing. So print string after slicing negative indexing equals to my string -4 -1. So you can see the observed word. This is it is my string. That is the string which I have been initialized. Once I am doing a slicing, it's as a slicing parameters given as -4 to -1. That means that -4 means starting characters is -4. So that's why I'm going as from S till -1. -1 is what? From first, from at the end letter. So I'm going only for the 4 letters, that is starting from -4 to -1. So I get at 3 letters, that is SIT. Only 3 letters are being implemented here. So multiple steps I use, and just I slice the main string which is being implemented. In such a way I can implement a negative indexing. Another method for this one is String slicing. Slicing is done as we have done. Slicing is done in Python to select or display the desired number of characters in a string. It is done with the help of a symbol colon. So here we are having two simple programs. String of index colon. S is hello world. S equals to 2 of colon. So I want to start my printing of characters. Slicing is that I am cutting the first two letters 1 and 2, and then I am starting from L, that is the third letter. So in this way I get a normal print of characters. Another program here is message equals to good morning. That is, I am assigning good morning to a variable message, and I am saying that message to start from 0 and till only fourth letter, wherein I am saying wherein I get an output as only good. Another example here is message starts from 5 to 12. So we can see that fifth is the first M word until 12 is like we should have almost complete like till 12, that is 1 2 2, that is in 2 steps I should get a printing a word morning from the starting of the fifth word. Then we are moving towards some brief information regarding a slicing here, because a slicing is an important aspect of Python strings, whereas compared to the Java or other programming languages, what we have observed. So most of the time we require slicing methodology being implemented in Python for most of the aspect related to in strings to be identified or to be having a substring of value. So for that purpose, we'll have a small detailed information about the slicing. Slicing syntax is a handy way to refer to subparts of sequences. Typically, we use this for strings and lists. The slice starts from S, starts from end, start to end is the elements beginning at start and extending up to but not including end. That is, we go in such a way that we start from the beginning and end up to the end, or to the below to the end we move on. Suppose we have a string S equals to hello. So we'll keep it as an array format in a normal index format, wherein we see HELLO. So normal, if I go with an array format where we use the indexing format such as to access with the variables being with that particular variable, and or to say a literal assigning some index value as 0 1 2 3 4. Normal, this is normal indexing while we are assigning to an string. Another method that is we see as that we are starting from -1, that is from the end way. If I'm seeing the word literal to be given from the end side, I go as -1 -2 -3 -4 -5. So in such a way we normally assign a string, and we see the slicing methodology being implemented in the forward as well as in the backward manner. So coming forward towards some examples given here. S of 1 is to 4. That is S of 1 colon 4. 1 means I have to start from the first letter and go till the fourth letter. That is, I am getting E, L, L. That is, there are the 4 letters that need to be printed. So I am starting, it starts from starting at the index 1 and extending up to, but not including index 4. That is, only it should start from the first letter and it should not go till the fourth letter. So I will be taking only 3 letters. S of 1 is colon. I am not having any end value. So at that moment, I'll be starting at the first letter, that is E, and I'm not giving any end character. That is, neither I am giving a before state, giving a end of the string. So what happens? It omits either index defaults to the start or end of the start. Another is like normal, if you want to print a character where you don't want to give the start and end, you just give a colon. S colon is what happens hello. I will get an output as hello, because neither I'm giving a starting literal, neither the ending literal of a syntax. So normal, it doesn't go with the slicing and gives me all the strings, which is omitting both the sides for moving from the start to the end. Another method is 1 is to 1 colon 100 is like hello. An index that is too big is truncated down to the string length. That is, suppose that as you above see that I'm having a string of 5 letters and I want to start from first letter, that is H, and I'm giving as the end of the string or end as 100. What observes is that it sees how much the string is being assigned to a particular variable. If suppose you are giving something extra places or extra end value, at that instant it won't be accepted and it will be truncated. and it will give you the particular that many characters till the end it is going. So this is the small, normal slicing methodology implemented, and a very important concept regarding strings. Next, we are moving to the other part, very important part regarding here, that as we discussed in the first statement in the previous slide, that strings are immutable. That is, we cannot change the existing strings. For this one, we'll have an example and a brief, because mutable and immutable are very important concept in Python, as we have multiple data types, string, list, tuple, other data types, in which where we say as strings are immutable. So for a brief description, we'll be having here an example. In Python, strings are immutable. That means the characters of a string cannot be changed. So example here we are taking, we are having a variable message. In that I'm assigning a string hola amigos. I'm saying message of O string. That is, it will give me a print message H, where print it message of O, message of O. That means that it will give me the character first one, starting from message of 0 is H. That is, the first letter is H, and print message means it will give me an error here. That means that the message which you have declared a variable message as a string with hola ambiguous, you are giving and you want to display the index value of 0, which is H, it gives me an error. Similarly, however, when we assign the variable name to a new string, that is, again we are assigning variable name. First it was hola ambiguous, another time we are giving a message to hello friends, and then you are saying prints message. Prints message, what happens is that it prints me hello friends. So what happens is that whatever the existing values were there before, it won't be replaced by the new value. At that instance also, here the string Python strings give me a acknowledgement that if you are replacing a string by from the old to the new, it won't be accepted. That is, we cannot change the existing set. In such a sense, we say as Python strings are immutable. Next, we are moving towards the next method and next content here, string concatenation. As you know, concatenation is combination of two things. So when we are saying about a string concatenation, we concatenate or we combine multiple strings into a one string. A string in Python is immutable, that is, it cannot be changed once defined, but concatenation is still possible. That is, in the previous slide, we have observed regarding, that is, we cannot assign a string from the current value to the new value, but if you want to combine two or three strings or one or two strings, it is possible the concatenation method or concatenation methodology. To concatenate two or more literal strings, you just need to place them next to each other. For example, S equals to string concatenation. Normally, you just see here that S equals to here you see that S equals to concatenate the two or more literal strings. We use this. You just need to give a string and concatenation. We get an output as string concatenation. Another method or another methodology which we implement to concatenate string is S equals to, we are assigning S as variable to a hello world, a string. What happens is that if I want to concatenate it with the above S to another string, that is S plus example, what happens, plus is a concatenation operator being used here, which is used for assigning, which are used for combination of two different strings. So example is being added to the hello world, so I get an output as hello world example. So this is a small important method wherein, as we observe that Python strings are immutable in nature, and if still you want to concatenate multiple strings, at that instance we can go with string concatenation method. Another, then we are going within the concatenation. We have one method called as join method. Using join method also we can concatenate string. So here we have example wherein I'm having variable one, which is assigned, which is given as assigned value, assigned string as hello. Variable two is a variable which is assigned as world. There are two variables here, variable one and variable two. So now coming to the join method, how to use the combine, how to use the join method. I use a print of this quotation says me, this quotations says me I am keeping an empty space wherein I use it to whatever the value is that should be print. Join of variable 1, variable 2. So I am combining variable 1 and variable 2 and it will be joined and it will be given to the print empty value. That is, it will accept this and it gives me the output as hello world. So another way of join concatenation is by using a join method. Then concatenating string using the percentile formatting. That is, string objects have the built-in percentile operator that allows you to format string. Also, you can use it to concatenate the strings. For example, we have three strings here, S1, S2, and S3. As Python string concatenation, using three different identifiers of data type printf, 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 that is going with the string, and I'm giving us s1, s2, s3, which the values have been assigned. So once I say printf, I get the string concatenation output. You can use the format method to concatenate multiple string into a string also. That is, S1, S2 are assigned in such way. So here I will give as a format wherein I give the flower bracket and I want which format I want to display the particular string. So output I get a string concatenation. Yeah, but still we get a small type of an error if we substitute the flower bracket by the corresponding string argument. That is, the string argument which you are giving, if it is not matching the flower bracket, at an instance I get a error there. Next, we are using with another type called as repeat. Another topic we are moving here is repetition. This is unique property of strings in Python programming language, where a string is multiplied with an integer. The characters of strings are multiplied the same number of types. So sometimes we require some variables to be assigned and multiplied number of times and want to display it as we see in a for loop. While we go with the normal one value to be going in a for loop to multiply the values, multiplication of variables or number of steps to be implemented. In such a way also for string also helps in here by using the repetition, wherein we have being an example x, string is multiplied to integer, that is s is k, and if I'm saying s equals s into 5, that is I'm giving as integer 5 value. S is what? K into s, it will be repeated 5 times. The k will be repeated in 5 times. Next we are having example for the same thing. That is, I'm having index number starting from 1 to 8, which is the example what we have learned for the slicing. Now we are moving towards the next one, finding length of a string. Length of a string can be calculated using the length function. That is, length is a string, len is a string that we are using here for the purpose to display the length of a string. So we are using length function here, length of hello world, it will return me 11. Then deleting and updating from a string. As similar that we are using, if we are using an accessing of a string where we see that how to delete a string or update a string also is possible for a string. In Python, updation or deletion of a characters from a string is not allowed. This will cause an error because item assignment or item deletion from a string is not supported. Updating entire string is immutable in nature, we cannot update it. So as we have discussed in the previous section, why immutable and mutable, for that sense we are having that whether I can update it or I can delete it. Updating is not done in the string, as if Python is a string immutable, so for that reason we can't update it. For deletion for entire string, deletion of the entire string is possible with the use of del key. If we try to print the string, this will produce an error because the string is deleted and is unavailable to the printer. Once you delete it, it won't again get. Then updating a string character. Just we will have an example here, how we have seen above here. Here the same thing. I'm giving an explanation for updating a string. Python program to update an entire string. here I am having a string hello, I am G. I am assigning to a string 1. Print initial string, print of string 1. So I have given print of initial string, that is I want to print initial string normal, I'm printing it, and I'm printing one more print of string 1. String 1 is assigned as hello, I am G. So while updating a string 1, welcome to the G word, print of updated string, print string 1. So first I'll get a print normal initial string as an output here. You can see here, print first initial string, I got an output. Print of string 1, that is hello, I am G, I got it here. Then when I'm going for the updating a string, welcome to the G world, I got this welcome to the G world. Then if I'm printing to the string 1, again as a welcome to the G world. That is how an updating it can't be done. That is if you are going for giving an value to the assign to the old to the new value to the old value, it won't take it. So whatever the previous value will be there, it will be implemented the same thing. Next, we are moving for deleting an entire string example. Python program to delete an entire string. String 1, hello, I am G, print initial string, string 1. So here, as I said that we normally, if I am printing it, I will get a print, normal print statement. But when I'm going for delete statement, deleting a string, I just go with del string 1. So that string will be deleted. So once it is deleted, again it won't get printed. So this is an example for deleting an entire string. Next, we are moving for the string formatting. As we have discussed in the previous slide that how the string formatting does. String formatting goes the string str format option, where we use normally f strings, where we have some approximate values. That is expression containing flower bracket are printed out using the format specification. That how much format specification you are giving, that will be followed here. So here we are examining example as value. Suppose that I'm taking 2.791514, and we are giving for approximate value which will go to value of 2f. So approximate value I'll get as 2.79. So another example, if I say take it as in a formatting, car is a variable for me, where I'm having some parameters to it. Tires equals to 4, doors equals to 2. Now if I say print f of car equals to car, so what happened? Cars will give us answer. It will be as like tires will be given as 4 and doors as 2. So f strings are very useful when you would like to print out a table of objects and would like the columns representing different objects attributes to the line. So f format literal, formatting a string literal when it is mostly used automatically to convert objects into a string suitable for printing. So this is the wherein we have to built in ways to do this formatting string literals, f strings, and invoking string format. So here we have example of it. As you know, the Python variables chapter, we cannot combine strings and number like this. So normally we see that the variable chapter, we have observed that normal string and numbers cannot be taken here. So we get an error. So by Python f strings make it really easy to print values and variables. So in this way, we can print by using f strings. We can go with a format wherein I can display values plus variables. So here I'm having an example here. Name is Kathy, country is UK. Print f of name is from country. So Kathy is from UK, I'll get it. So this is a new formatting syntax which is powerful and easy to use. From now on, if we use f strings to print strings and variables, wherein we'll get an output combination of values as well as the variable. Next, we are moving as Python strings are arrays. Strings in Python are arrays of bytes representing Unicode characters. However, Python does not have a character data type. A single character is simply a string with a length of 1. Normally, we use an arrays from starting from the index of 0 to 1. And when we are coming across a string, we also use strings as an array of characters where we use an square brackets that can be used to access elements of the string. So print A equals to hello world, print A of 1, and A of min is first second character because the string accessing start from array as an index from 0, 1, 2, 3, 4 and goes on. So when I say print of A1, so it will display me E. Beside those mentioned above, there are various string methods present in Python. Here are some of methods. Like you can use upper to convert the string to uppercase. If suppose it is in a lower case, we have another method lower. If suppose that we have all the strings in an uppercase, we can convert to lowercase. we can go with the partition method. It returns a tuple. Partition, it returns a tuple to me. Replaces a substring inside. It will find another method is find, which returns the index of first occurrence of substring. Rstrip removes trailing characters and splits from starting from the string from left. Starts with checks if string starts with a specified string. Each numeric checks numeric or characters. Index returns index of substring. So these are some methods of Python stick. You can implement it with a small variable. You assign a value, assign a string to it, and you can go with this particular method, which you will see that how this particular methods give me us a variant different methodology being implemented with the Python string of their methods. Next, we are moving towards the another topic, that is escape characters. Escape characters, to insert characters that are illegal in string, that is use an escape characters. That is escape character is a backslash followed by the character you want to insert. To insert characters that are illegal in a string, to insert characters that are illegal in a string, use an escape character. Here we use a backslash followed by the character you want to insert. Okay. So here are some examples that why how we go with this. We will see an example. You will get an error if we use double quote inside the string, that is surrounded by double quote. That is, suppose here we are having an example. You can see here text is a variable. We are assigning we are the so-called wikis from the north. So within this particular whole string, I'm having another string within that, that is wiking. So at that instance, it won't accept me. So what we need to do is that we are so-called wiking from the, it gives me invalid syntax to me. So how do I use to fix this problem? We use the escape character. Like example, the example is like we are the so-called, you just use a backslash vikings in within your bracket from the north. So what happens? I get the output as we are the so-called vikings from the north. So what we observe is that this particular quotes are being implemented or being implemented within a backslashes. That is an escape character. By using this, I can display my string as I require it. So within a string, again, if you are using some string or you want to display a word which is in an important and you want to use a double quote within your syntax, you can use a backslash to it. So this is the way that escape character is being used. So some more different type of escape characters are which are being used as single quote, backslash, new line. You want a carriage return, tab. You want to go move toward the next value or next line. Backspace, that is you want to have a backspace. You want a form feed or you want to represent some octal value or hexa value. These are the different small variations which we implemented in the escape character that we can use. Next, we are using with the Python string operations. There are many operations performed with strings, which makes it one of the most used data types in Python. Like first is compare two strings, another is joining two or more strings. I can compare two strings, that is by using the assignment operator, that is double equivalent to. If I use a double equivalent to operator to compare string, I will get an answer. If the two strings are compared, the operator returns true or operator returns false. So we'll have an example here. I'm having a variable string 1, which is hello world. String 2 is I love Python. String 3 is hello world. So comparing string 1 and string 2, hello world, I love Python, I get as false. Comparing string 1 and string 3, I get as 2. So in this way, in the above example, string 1 and 2 are not equal, hence the result is false. And the string 1 and string 3 are equal, hence the result is 2. Another method, as we said, join two or more strings. In Python, we can join or concatenate two or more strings by using the plus operator. Greet is a keyword. By using a keyword string here, name is a jack. Using plus operator. Result equal to greet plus name print. So how I get greet is here hello plus, that is I am giving as name as Jack. So print of result hello Jack. In the above example, we use a plus operator to join two strings. As we can also see that joining of two strings, we have also have a same method of concatenation of a string concatenation method. So till now we have discussed the maybe various parts of the string, like how is a string how a string is being defined, how a string is being accessed, how a string is being implemented, how a string can be displayed. To then we have moved towards how a string has been accessed, like three methods: slicing, negative indexing, and methods we have implemented, slicing, by displaying. Then we have gone with methods of strings being implemented: string length function and the escape character, and concatenation of a string we have seen. After completing the various important concepts of strings, we'll have a brief information that advantages of a string in Python. Strings are used at a larger scale. That is, for wide various operation, we use string and to manipulate the text data representing name, addresses, other types of information. Python has a rich set of string methods that allow you to manipulate and work with string in variety of ways. That is, we have a rich set here, as we have observed that how to join a method. We are using a formatting, we are using a backslash, wherein we observe in different programming languages, wherein we can't perform string with multiple types of operations. Strings are immutable, meaning that once you have created, you cannot change it. Wherein we have seen in this is the important aspect of a Python programming, that strings are immutable, and for immutable nature, we have different data types also being implemented. Python has built-in support of strings, which means that you do not need to import any additional libraries or modules to work it. So as we see that, if we see other programming languages, we need, whenever you are using a string material, string literal, we need to use a library of it, wherein here Python is having has an inbuilt-in support for strings. Drawbacks: when we are dealing with large text, the strings can be inefficient because a large content may make me in complications, make me some complication regarding accessing a string there. Strings can be difficult to work with when you need to represent complex data structures such as lists or dictionaries. So these are the drawbacks of strings in Python. So here are some examples or some practice program that you can work out, that what we have discussed till now. Reverse words in a given string by using a reverse function. Remove or duplicates from a string, you can go ahead with remove function. Count vowels and consonants. Python program to convert lower letter to upper letter to lower in string. Write a program in Python to count lower, upper, numeric, and special character by using the length function. Python program to convert all the starting letters of a word in uppercase format or in the title format. So you goes with uppercase, lowercase formats. So these are simple practice programs related to the string in Python. Thank you for this session.